Then you're talking about his skates. I guess they're replaced 3 times a year. He likes them loose. What about you? How often do you replace your skates?
Well, those are trade secrets. I can't tell all that. I can't give everything away. A lot. I switch quite a bit, yeah. I'm pretty picky, as you may have caught wind of, but I wear quite a few new pairs of skates.
Did you stay up and watch any of the women's game?
I did. I watched the first period. I needed some sleep. We're coming back from out west, so I would have liked to have watched the whole thing, but pretty excited this morning when I woke up. I know my girls checked the scores, and it's great. I'm really happy for those girls. They wait 4 years for that game, and to get a win is pretty awesome for our country and for them.
How into it are your daughters?
I wouldn't say they're too into, like, they don't play hockey, my girls, but they do like to skate. They're around the rink a little bit because of me, and they pay attention. I think they find they pay attention a lot more to the women than they do to our games. They check our scores to see when the days off are coming. They like when we win because they know that everyone's in a good mood. But outside of that, I think they've enjoyed watching the Olympics. They enjoy watching women's sports on TV. And we've talked quite a bit about how important this tournament was for the Canadian team amongst the house. So my oldest is getting a little bit older, so now she's doing projects on different female athletes, and so it makes it definitely a lot more conversation pieces in the house.
What do you think of the state of the women's game?
I think it's growing. I think it's great. I think the girls have they've really improved. I think they've benefited a lot from some of the stick technology. You can tell they shoot the puck really well now. I think there's some tremendous players. You look at that Sarah Fillier, she does some really exceptional things out there. I think that there's a strong appetite to help them grow their game, and hopefully they can continue and get a little momentum. It's too bad these games weren't in prime time here in North America. I think it's probably a little bit tougher for people to watch just because of the way the Olympics are being in China, but I think this is hopefully a good springboard for them. I think even prior to COVID, there was lots of talk about getting them into some NHL rinks and the Dream Gap Tour and stuff like that, and hopefully we can help them grow the game.
What's it say about Poulin that she scores again in a gold medal game?
Oh, she's clutch. She's consistent. I think to be able to do what she's done over the course of time, it's similar to like what Haley's been able to do. And for these women, they have to train with not very many games to play and not very many big games to play. So they're extremely dedicated athletes, and they're somebody that I admire just because of the dedication that you have to put in, knowing that you don't get many opportunities to show why you do all the training. So with them, it's good they play those Canada-US series. But having just a Worlds and then Olympics every 4 years, it's a lot of work for a short period of time. And then when you lose, it takes a lot of gumption to kind of stay with it. So I admire these women just at how hard they train and how they prepare.
Team's getting Adam Brooks back. Your thoughts on getting him back and what a journey he's been on this year?
Yeah, I love Brooks. He's a great kid. He's a guy that I grew really fond of. Kept in touch. He's a sports nerd, so we talk lots of fantasy football and different stuff throughout the year. And just a great kid. He's grown up in the organization, so I think he's got a lot of people rooting for him here. So to have him back is great.
What do you see to Crosby right now? He's 34 years old and hits 500 the other night.
Yeah, you talk about dedication. He's the poster boy for just work ethic, dedication. He's evolved his game. He's always willing to change different things within his game. To be at 34 and play at the level he's playing at is exceptional. And when you get around him, you realize that none of it's by mistake. It's all through hard work and dedication. And he studies the game. He knows the game. He watches the game. He's incredible.
Trained much with him over the years?
I have, yeah. We have a good relationship. We've spent time to train together. We've roomed together at Worlds. Been around him a lot, so gotten a good chance to know him.
John was saying yesterday that we all know about you and how you study the game and everything. And for us, it looks like the play you make off the half wall just keeps happening. But you made changes to that to keep the opposition off guard because.
Yeah, for sure.
No one's really picked up on it yet to stop it around.
Yeah, it's more of a read play. So it's it just happened to be now 2 games in a row. It's worked with the shot pass, but it just depends on how the kill kills really. So we get great information from Spence in the morning about the other team's penalty kills, and then it's my job to kind of adjust. Power plays, I always think power plays should be somewhat predictable. So our unit, especially when you're the second unit, it needs to be a little bit predictable because you're not given a whole lot of time. So there is a measure of predictability to it, but within that, there's little reads, and I think our unit's getting better at kind of finding those reads and working off what the penalty kill is doing. So that's kind of the focus.
Given tonight that the Penguins kill, is that more of a challenge for you then, given where
Yeah, they kill different than the last two teams we've seen. So we're going to have some different little wrinkles in what we try to do, and they're going to watch our power play and they're going to adjust. And that's a little bit of the cat and mouse between good penalty kills and good power plays. So, and you find with some of the good penalty kills, it can be frustrating because it's icing, bad breakout, icing, and then next thing you know, you get a grade A and you capitalize. So you have to have patience when you play the good penalty kills because sometimes it can be frustrating. So you don't want to deviate too much from the plan.
Why do you think the top unit has been able to click as consistently as they have this season?
Yeah, I think just Carbs gives great pre-scouts. We work on it almost daily in practice. I think those guys have been able to learn their reads off each other, what to do. 5 exceptional players that can move the puck around really well. And I think it's just chemistry. I think, you start reading off each other, and, when Will goes to the hole, Mitch comes out, and it starts becoming a little more fluid, and they learn their reads off each other. So I think that's been a big thing for that unit. And then when you have shooters like we have on that unit, they're going to put pucks in the net.
The Pens have played you guys tough. Obviously, it was a while ago in this building, the 2-0, and the other game's kind of a distant memory now. But what's the biggest challenge they present? You haven't seen Malkin yet this year. What is the biggest challenge presented by the Penguins?
Yeah, that core's been together for a while. They've won cups. They know how to win games. They play extremely hard. They have a high standard of how they play. So I think it's a great test for us, especially coming off a West trip. It's a game that they get your attention real quick. So it's probably the right type of team to play in a situation like this. So, and yeah, we hopefully learned our lesson from the 7-1 game. If you open it up against them, they'll make you pay. So great test, exciting game. Looking forward to playing.
Random one for you. In Vancouver, it looked like someone in the crowd got a stick from you in warm-up. I'm just wondering, you talked about trade secrets with the skates. If something caught your eye on the glass or something.
That kid actually, it's a funny story. When I was suspended, he stayed and he watched me skate for like an hour after at UBC, and he asked me for a stick, but because I was suspended, I didn't bring very many. So we were scheduled to go back the next day to UBC to practice. So I said, if you come back tomorrow, I'll give you a stick after practice. And then we all got COVID and never ended up coming back. So actually, when I walked into the building at UBC, I actually remembered the kid. I remember, oh man, I forgot to give that kid a stick. And then he showed up at the game. So when I saw him and recognized him, it was a no-brainer to get him a stick.